Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's August and it is Women's Month. So this month I'd like to celebrate all the women out there, and firstly, happy Women's Month to everyone. Every lady out there, it doesn't matter what you're doing, I celebrate you, I appreciate you, and I value every woman out there. And being Women's Month, I decided to share my tea time with a few ladies just to encourage one another as women and hear what stories we have to share with one another. And I always like the scripture that says iron sharpens iron, and I truly believe that we shape each other when we are there for one another, when we support one another, instead of just always judging one another for I don't know what reasons. But it's Women's Month. Let's celebrate one another. My topic today is on the subject of what defines you as a person, what defines you as a woman. So I have Miss Lebu waiting on the other side of Zoom. I can't wait to speak to this gorgeous lady and hear what she has to say and hear what defines her as a person. I'm absolutely excited to actually see her, because since lockdown we haven't actually seen one another. We've spoken on the phone. It's different when you see a person and you are chatting to the person. It makes things feel kind of real, lockdown or not. But yes, I'm excited to hear what she has to share with us. I hope you guys like this interview that I have with her, this video. Please do actually like, I'm urging you, please like this video, because it's encouraging for me to carry on and do more videos, sorry. And yes, and let's support one another as women. Iron sharpens iron, remember that. God bless you. Perfect. Welcome. Hey babe, how are you?
I'm okay, babe. How are you?
Firstly, you look amazing, and thank you for joining me
Thank you.
and agreeing to join me at Tea Time with Mrs. T. I hope this conversation
I'm honored.
will be so fruitful, and that whoever will be listening to this conversation will be touched by your story. And I'm looking forward to hearing all about you, because this is about you, the woman that you are. And yes, firstly, for those who do not know, Lebo is my friend. I love her to bits, and we just bonded instantly, and I kind of felt compelled to have you on my videos, hey?
I was going to force you. I told you this long time ago. You had no choice.
Please introduce yourself.
Hi, guys. Hi, ladies. I'm Lebohang Metsing. I'm a former radio presenter, personality. And right now I own a business with my husband, and I'm a mother of one 9-year-old beautiful, smart girl.
Yes, she is. She's absolutely adorable. So our topic today, I'm sorry, I'm going to read all these questions because I'm still getting a hang of this. Our topic today is about what defines you as a person and what defines you as a woman. So hearing this question about what defines you, one would tend to gravitate towards values. I think I would do the same myself in describing who I am, what I stand for, and yeah. But not forgetting that also I'm a godly woman. It might not pop up in the values, but I'm a godly woman first and foremost. I'm a God-fearing woman, and then everything else that follows after that. Tell me what defines Lebo, because this interview is about Lebo, not about me.
Thank you. I think firstly, I would say what defines me is that I am a spiritual person, also a religious person, right? Spirituality for me is I hold very close and dear the people who are around me, because I don't keep a lot of company. So I pride myself in being a good friend, a good mother, a beautiful wife, being present in the lives of the people I am with, and within myself, introspecting, learning, growing. So that's where the spirituality comes in. I care for everything and everyone around me. Always, you know, I am a natural cheerleader.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and a cheerleader, definitely. Definitely.
So I am a rooter for anything that's great, anything that evolves, anything that is for everyone.
Mm.
And you know, then religiously, I am your traditional religious person. I go through my prayer and fasting twice a year with my church and the Congress, right?
Yeah.
So I have my meditation every morning, every night, just that time alone, time with me and God, time with myself in where I am, where I'm planted, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I define myself: a lover, a nurturer, a cheerleader, and a person that's constantly growing.
Definitely. I can attest to a few qualities you've pointed out there where I've experienced your nurturing spirit. I've experienced your cheerleading. I mean, you give me those random calls about, hey, sis, did you see this? And I absolutely appreciate that about you. So that is actually so true.
I pray not to bother you because I can be an overload.
Not at all. So far, so good. And trust you, me, you know me, I do kind of shout when I feel people are too much in my space. Kidding. So tell me, what are some of the values you feel have molded you into the person you are today? I know you've touched on your spirituality, which plays a big part, but in terms of things that you hold dear to yourself, what are those qualities that have molded you to who Lebogang is today? And looking back, you'd say, I've come a long distance, a long way, sorry.
For my childhood, I think for me, I was very close with my grandmother, my late grandma. And so, you know, she was a woman of prayer and a woman that's very gentle but firm. So in being around her, how she communicates with people, how she tackles and approaches situations, you know, how it's first love. It was always first love with her, but it did not take back or take away her strength in the strong woman she was. So everything with love, but you would never misunderstand her character. And I think I learned a lot from her and being around her. And my mother is fussy as you find it. She's, you know, a mom of all moms. She is very strong. I've been around strong women all my life. Her friends, my mom, my grandmother, her friends around me, you know, just knowing how to have emotional intelligence at a young age and understanding my surrounding that, okay, when given this situation, it needs for you to pull and when it needs for you to push, right? So I think the woman in my life, my mom, she is a teacher. She's been a teacher since 23. And now she's a principal. And it's the first time playing a principal role. So she's a fighter. And I, you know, that's the fight in me that I got from her, but also very gentle, you know, and she's fashionable. So loving clothes and everything sparkling.
Where you get it from?
So the women in my life have been a major role in contributing into the person I am and the definition of my pride in who I've molded myself to become and who I'm still evolving to be, right?
True. I think that's absolutely so spot on because in the short space of time that I have known you, I have seen the go-getter spirit within you. I have seen the nurturing spirit. I'm saying it again, that you are nurturing. I've seen that you are a fighter for what you believe in. And I absolutely adore that about you. And you are a woman supporter. You are always in the forefront, wanting to pull the sisters up, you know. There's a lot of put her down syndrome that's happening around, but you are always the few women that I know that are always pulling others up, even maybe sometimes at your expense. I don't know if you do realize that, but sometimes it's at your expense. But then again, that's the character, that's the person of God in us that always wants to see the other person in a better place. See,
True, true.
so do you find that your values are changing as you grow older, or it's quite steady? You are on this steady path where you are intentional about the woman that you are.
I find myself having to grow out of certain things. I would keep a lot of friends around me, and since primary to high school, I was always in a spotlight of being a prefect, executive this, executive that, cheerleader. So all that space, you're surrounded by people, different people, right? People who adore you, people who admire you, and your friends. So it is always a crowded space, and I found comfort in that crowd space. And I've always seen myself to be a people's person, and it doesn't necessarily mean I've stopped being a people's person, but growing older, I have selected the company which I keep, because now not only is it about me, I'm a mother now and I'm a wife. So you have a sense of protection, and I protect my space. So when you are in that space, in the aura, you can't carry everyone with you. It doesn't stop you from being a helper and a booster for everyone, but not everyone is allowed in this circle. So I think that is one of the biggest things that I've seen myself change in more than anything.
And that's so important, because we are the company we keep, and people should not misunderstand or get this wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to be on your own, and then when you are ready, then you can go out and be with people. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with outgrowing people, because we meet people for a reason and for a season, and we should not deny when seasons have come to an end. We should not persist and force matters then, because things end up ugly, and it's not how God had intended this journey with whomever you are going with. And it doesn't mean now there's bad blood between you two. It's just that your destination with a certain person has come to an end, and you can still keep in touch. But I certainly have had sisters where we have stopped walking this journey together, but it doesn't mean that we have stopped being friendly with each other. But it's just that our time have kind of, come to us up, and there's nothing wrong with that. And if you know who you are and you are absolutely confident in your own skin, you would allow, So people must not get that you think you're better. Guess
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that. And in fact, I quite encourage, being an introvert, I quite encourage that when you grow into a woman who does not keep a lot of friends, because that also says a lot about you. Always busy with people around. When do you get time to be alone and hear from God and be that powerful woman God had intended you to be, My husband
100%.
like saying to me many years ago, because I was quite, how do I put this? I loved watching it's not Desperate Housewives. I think I also love that too. I also love these housewives of Atlanta, or housewives of this and this and that. He'd always say to me, while you're busy watching these things, if a sister calls you now and says, I need a prayer, or what do you think about this? Where are you going to draw from? Because always what's buzzing in your head is sisters this, sisters that, this desperate wife and whatever. And you portray what you were watching, now you're going to portray it into your household. And I personally have seen that. You portray even your walk has kind of changed now, because now you saw Shadede, she is doing. I absolutely support you outgrowing certain characters, babe. And also, being a mom to a girl child, what values would you like to now instill on your daughter, and what would you want her, like you had the privilege that many of us were denied of, drawing from your grandmother, your mom, and
Right.
today you are the woman you are because they had an input in your life. So what values would you like to instill on your daughter?
For me, the most important, especially because I have a daughter,
Yeah.
is, teach her the values, but also walk the walk.
Mm.
For me, it's important that she sees mommy's strength, but mommy's humbleness as well. Mommy's softness, whether it is to mommy and her friends, mommy to daddy, mommy to teacher, mommy to stranger.
Yeah.
And that kindness first. I always tell her that you must do the right thing even when no one is watching, and don't act to be nice or gentle or righteous. Be right. So I let her watch all these cartoons. Sophia the First. I love Sophia the First. Moms, if you have kids out there who are 9 years old or younger, Sophia the First.
Mostly for girls,
you
Sophia,
see
most
them.
of the time they to watch Sophia.
No, even for the boys. I mean, Sophia's got a younger brother.
Okay.
They get to see the different qualities in themselves, in their friends, and how to approach it. How do I become gentle? How do I have an opinion and not be opinionated in certain things? So it helps a child find orientation around who they are and what they're about. So for me, I need her to see mom being a boss lady, how I work and what is work, right? And that you don't get free things. Nothing is free. Nothing is ever free.
And that's
it
so
means
important, eh?
Yes, you must put effort. I always tell her, mommy was good at a lot of things that she was doing. And now that you're here, it's important that you not only are like mom, but better than mom, because there are some things that mom did not have access to and that mom has access to for you.
True.
For you to be able to reach certain things. So mom works hard because when she works hard, she gets to spoil herself with this, right? She sees me when I'm shopping. I get excited. I'm like, oh, I love shoes, by the way. Make my outfit all the time, right? And how I relate with being a Christian.
Yeah.
And why Christianity is important to why my religion, why my spirituality makes the woman I am, right? My grandmother told me you respect everyone equally and the same.
True.
Whether it's a gardener, a cleaner,
No matter the background, and this is
president,
my thing. Yeah.
all those people deserve the same equal respect. And that's where you find God planting your blessings.
Yeah.
And these are things I teach her too, that it doesn't matter who it is. If it's an elder, you honor your friends, you honor your visitors. Elders, you honor them and you respect them. That's where your blessings come from, my baby. So hard work, being humble, respect, honoring everyone around you, knowing who God is first in your life. Our Sundays are all about family. It's first Sunday. And, when you go to church on the Sunday, it just completes you. It fulfills you. My Sundays have not been the same lockdown, but, on church as well, it's a contribution. It just it aligns you with a lot of things that you need to. And I don't say a lot, but I wanted to see it from my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Lifestyle for me is very important.
They learn by watching.
How I interact with her father, her.
Yeah.
Right? And they take that more than what we are telling. That's the line, mommy, if you told me.
How did you make me feel?
Right?
I still have those memories of how I was made in a certain instance, while growing up, and I hold on to those memories. That's so important, babe. And the Bible does say that we should train up our children in the way they should go. And we can't afford, especially in the times we're living in today, we cannot afford to be passive parents, where children are just parenting themselves, we just throw gadgets at them just so we can be alone, I'm not trying to sound too judgmental now. Even for the moms that have a 9-to-5 job, let's try and not pass this mothering blessing that we have been given to the nannies now. You know, we need to, when we are at home, take off those heels and be a wife first, if you are married, and be a present parent, you know, because these children, they need us.
Mother.
Firstly, they need love, they need guidance. I mean, you'd think at a certain age a person can do things by themselves. No, they need that mother, and our helpers unfortunately can't carry the load that God has given us to carry. So we need to prioritize, right? So I absolutely love what you do, what you said.
They replace you, right? Don't they replace us? When we give them, you know, our duties, I mean, they have the right to replace us, don't they?
I have seen that, you know,
with that
very quickly, you know, no one is gonna take over. God has given me my kingdom, and I must be, you know, hands on. So we cannot allow that. I'm too tired. I've had a long day. Of course, you'll have that odd day here and there given, but it's very important to be present and hands-on while bringing up our children. What were you saying before we were disturbed by the network?
I was saying, as mothers, I think we should always remember that we are women first. And so when the other is struggling, I think, you know, before the burden of, you know, saying, oh, you're doing this wrong, I think if we as mothers and sisters and, you know, women first, why can't Bulelo help me? Why can't the help Bulelo? You know what I mean? So it has to be first nature. You know, we've got so many things we are carrying as women, from work, you know, family, inside the house. There's just too many things that we are juggling at once. Mm-hmm. We need each other to give each other that space of freedom, the breather. You know, I'm that mom at school. If I see another mom who's forgotten that, you know, something is happening, if I've got extra, here you go. You know, don't worry about it. If it's a cupcake day, I've got cupcakes. I bought because you know, I wanted it, right?
I know.
So I think we should give each other a break and embrace each other more. And I think we need to start learning to realize that women can trust each other. We need to build that protection around each other again, because the first thing we see is the attacks. You know, we are so quick to attack each other because of how I think we've been raised. You know, we're always in competition of something. It's enough. We've got enough. And once we are in that space, yes, in that space of it's enough, then I understand that I'm not taking anything from myself by giving or being gentle or being kind to that woman, because she needs that break. I know she needs that break because I need that break too.
Exactly. And if you can step in the gap and assist a sister, you know, what do you lose from that? Instead you gain, you know. First and foremost, we are here to serve others, not to serve ourselves. So I absolutely love that. If I could just throw in, if us as sisters, we could just, you know, be comfortable firstly in who we are, be comfortable in knowing that you are where you are. I think also another reason, just to digress now, another reason there's a lot of pull head down syndrome. People are comparing themselves too much instead of appreciating what God has given you. And because someone out there is praying for what you are busy taking for granted. And instead of looking inward, you are busy looking outward, you know, washing your window so that you can see clearly what Lebo is doing. How about you first water your own garden so that, you know, whoever passes can benefit from seeing your green grass? You know, we are all on this earth to benefit the other person, not just to be inward about everything. Look what I have. And I think it's something, I don't know where that comes from, because I know my mother was never like that. You know, it's things that we learn along the way, and we place ourselves, and this stupid thing about status, you know, and then we class each other. You can't see that. There was even a silly song I once heard. I don't know the lyrics, but it went like, "You can't sit with us." You know, I caught it. I was passing somewhere. I caught that you can't sit with us. You can't walk with us because you don't have A, B, C, and D. And this was a teenager singing such nonsense. So these things we learn along the way, because we can't necessarily say we've learned them from our parents or from our upbringing, but it's things that we've allowed ourselves as we were growing up to learn and to class each other as a, this one is like this, therefore she can't sit with me. You know, and those are the things that I'm busy unlearning now in my, you know, tender years of growing up. It's things that we have to unlearn, and we have to unlearn and know who we are firstly, but we can only know who we are when we know who God is in our lives. You know, you can only know who you are if you have that close relationship with God, which is very important. Yet again, I still emphasize, we have to be present in the lives of our children, because they will need to guide them properly. Guide them properly.
Not to leave them wanting.
Exactly.
World, right?
Just because you have this, it doesn't mean you are better than the next person, because in God's eyes, we are all the same. God does not love you more because you are in a certain, you are at a certain school, for instance, and your cousin or your friend is at a certain school. No, God loves us all the same, and we need to appreciate what we have been given by God, because God gives and God takes. You don't appreciate something, God takes it away. Even with us as adults, it's not just for kids. If you don't appreciate something, you don't know what you have until it's gone. So I absolutely love what you said there, babe. And how do you, or how would you like the world to view you? And do you think you are succeeding in portraying yourself as the woman that you want the world now to know Lebo as?
Yeah. I mentioned when I was introducing myself that we share a company with my husband.
Yeah.
And so I've felt the need to go out on myself now, by myself, because I've learned a lot of things about, you know, the ground up with how to start,
Yeah.
and how to maintain and take care, right, and grow. So I feel like I'm at a place where I still have a lot to learn, but now I'm at a point I want to give, I want to create, and I want to build more. Starting a company, Alluring Infinity, right? It's about women just branching out and being their best in their element.
Oh, wow.
For me, it's more about women and children. That those are the two most important things and close to my heart, right? I'm a woman, so I understand what the next woman needs.
Yeah.
I'm a mother now, so I understand the fundamentals of a child and how key they are. So, and you know, when you look at your surrounding and you've learned and you're coming up, you realize that once you equip a woman, they are so easy to share and expand, right? Because when you teach a woman, it's like giving a crown to the right person. When a right person wins, we all win.
We all win.
So in that,
yeah,
we all win.
Yeah.
So in that, it's, you know, having to gather women to saying, what do we need to equip ourselves with? How are we going to advance ourselves financially? How are we securing ourselves? Be it whether we are a stay-at-home mom or a working mom, these things are all classified as under, and we find ourselves being so challenged, you know, and finding to be intimidated when it comes to the financial status of things. If we're talking financial, you realize we just talk about accessories. What can I buy myself, and what am I planning to buy myself later? No. Now we need to come closer to, how am I investing? What am I going to invest this money on?
So
Right?
important.
Looking at, I want now to create a generation of difference. I want my child to not start from the ground, but to leave them something where they carry on. And that makes their life so much better. And we create a space of wealth. So it's about that. And fathers, this is about events for women and events for fathers. We realize that especially our Black fathers don't really spend enough time with their sons to teach them the essence of man and responsibility and own and trust. And our boys grow up having to learn for themselves. But there's so much enrichment when a father sits with a son and tells him his experience and his background and molds and creates a fine man. I mean, have you seen how beautiful and handsome our men are when they have grown into themselves? Oh,
definitely, hey? And they've grown into who they are because there's a powerful woman behind them. Let's not forget that. Now, imagine if both parents are behind this child growing up, the beauty that will come out of that child, that is so exciting and amazing. I love that. I can't wait. Can lockdown end already so that we can have plans? And again, when every year, every year when a year begins, when a new year comes, we have these plans, that I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Little did we know that 2020 had its own plans for us. But we're trusting in God because He is the one who directs our paths. Many other plans in a man's heart, but it is God's purpose that will prevail. So I can't wait for this lockdown to end already, so that. But then again, we should also appreciate where we are now, because this amazing idea that you've just shared with me about your business came when you were in your own space. I don't know if you would have planned accurately if we're now still busy out there looking for things that we already have in our home. So I also think there's a blessing in every situation, even though this lockdown has been quite hard on many people, but I think we are good now. It can end already. Thank you once again, Dave. I absolutely love this. I'm going to stop our recording now. And
before you stop the recording, thank you. You are a beautiful woman. Not only are you beautiful outside, but your warmth. I'm always going on about your warmth. It is endearing. You are a beautiful person inside out, and I appreciate you. And I'm honored that you would give me the space in your baby to do this with you.
Thank you for letting to walk with me, because I am still in school. I told you yesterday about the challenges I face with this YouTube thing, but God continues to say, you shall do it. It is not about you, it's about me. So I'm learning, babe. Thank you so much for being that support. And sometimes when I get that call or that message from you, I know it's gonna push me out of my comfort zone, and that can only be God. So thank you so much. I absolutely appreciate your kind words. And I appreciate
you are a promising student.
We never stop learning, hey? I see myself still learning after I don't know how many times I'm sitting in front of this camera. I'm still learning, and I appreciate your support, because your support means I am doing something right, and therefore I should continue. So I thank you for not focusing on the flaws, but rather on the bigger picture, which is the dream of encouraging people out there and helping each other, So thank you, my angel. Thank you.
Thank you. And next year we'll be celebrating the official year, right? So I have to be here again next year same time.
You are saying next year there's still summer, there's still spring, there's so much to talk about, hey? So you are gonna be here.
No, for the annual podcast, blog. The celebration is here first. So to the ladies out there, let's hold her. We are holding her accountable that it's me again next year.
Definitely, it's on tape. I can't run away now, hey? Thank you so much, baby.